Content warning. This episode contains descriptions of domestic violence. Welcome to Changed for Good, Life Elevated Through Christ with LSI Studios. In this podcast, we explore the ways in which Jesus Christ can make a lasting and elevated change in our lives. Because of Him, we can become more than we were and also receive grace for where we are on our journey. I'm your host, Britta Benyon. In celebration of the podcast's 2-year mark, the next several episodes will be a special series focused on missionaries. Missionaries are ambassadors for the Lord Jesus Christ. They go out into the world to share His message and His light. Being a follower of Christ means that we share who He is, what He has done, and how that knowledge and understanding can bless your life. But sharing that message always comes with challenge, as it always has for those who spread His word. These valiant and faithful missionaries who we will meet met that challenge head on and found a way to keep moving forward. Whether you are a missionary, will be a missionary, or simply are a self-proclaimed missionary, to those in your life, these messages are for you. I am so excited to have Gracie Harris here with me, and she has got an awesome story, which I'm thrilled to hear. So thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah. She is, she's been a member of our church now for how long?
This is February 24 this year, 2024.
So since February, so it's been like
7 months, 6 months.
Yeah, about 8 months or so.
Yes.
That's awesome. So yeah, she's new to our faith, but not new to God, obviously, and just but she's got a great story to share with us, and the ways that missionaries have been involved in that as well. So why don't we begin with you just telling us about yourself?
Yes, so I am from Mexico, grew up in Michoacan, Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
My dad have us in this area. There's nobody. There's only the river and the mountains. I am the oldest 12 brothers and sisters. It's me and there's 7 boys and then 3 sisters.
Wow.
So a lot of them together, a couple of them passed away. I grew up raising my own brothers. My mom and my dad, they was fighting and sometimes be home, sometimes disappear. I'm mostly in charge of my brothers.
You were the oldest, you said,
I was
right?
the oldest.
Wow.
And the oldest at that time, but we have another older brother before me. That one, he died when he was 8 years old.
Oh.
Pretty much my dad killed him.
Oh.
Yeah.
Sad.
We have a cow on the farm. He got my brother, pushed it to the cow, and the cow pushed it far away with her horns and poke in his stomach. So they take him to the hospital. To make it to the hospital, there was 6 hours to make it out there.
Oh, wow.
So by the time they got there, my brother died.
Oh.
And I only see them when they got home with a white box and my brother in there.
Oh. That's hard.
I grew up with all my other brothers or boys. One time, while my dad was being in the cartels, with people.
Mm-hmm.
In that time of the years when we all little. One time they got a big fight with my mom. My mom disappeared. He disappeared. And the military people showed up to the house in Mexico. And my dad have a lot of wheat on the sides close by around the house. And so the military people show up, burn everything, burn their house. And there's only me and my brothers. So they asked us to leave that place, and we walk between like a little canal that you have to walk through so you don't watch your step, you will fall in the water. I was having all my brothers like in front of me watching them to make sure nobody fell, and we made it to our grandma's house. Was like 3 hours walking.
Oh my goodness, how old were you at this
time? That time I was like 9 years old.
And you had 7 younger brothers?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
There was one every year.
Oh my goodness.
One every year, yeah.
Wow.
And then, so we make it to our grandma. 3 days later, my dad come to the house And pretty much he beat me up and my brothers because said why we leave the place. But the place was on fire, so we cannot stay.
Yeah.
That's what happened between all that. Seeing I was like really bad domestic violence with my mom. And I understand now as an adult, my mom had to run away and come back when I think everything was going down. But there was one night, the moon made me sad every time it's a full moon, made me sad. It's because when they got those kind of fights and he beat my mom all the time, that time she disappeared. My brother was little, like really little. So I don't know what to do to give all the kids are hungry. So I put a step stool to reach the kitchen, and everything you had to cook with wood. You had to make homemade tortillas. You had to grind the corn and grind everything to make everything cooking with fire. And that day we had my brother lay down next to the stove, and one of those piece of wood fell on his body, and he got burned really bad. So next day my mom pops up again, and we got beat up again. So now my brother is 37 years old, 38, and he still had those scars right there. He's still blaming me because I burned it, but I don't know what to do. This is me. I don't know what to do with all my brothers.
You're trying to feed
try
yourselves.
to feed them,
it sounds
and trying to figure it out myself too. And so in that process, my mom got pregnant again, and she have another boy, which one is the last one, the boys, the last little of the boys. And my grandma coming up saying that was not my dad's kid. So at that time, but that time and that age, then between 9 and 10, I was like 10 and 10 and a half, 10 and months myself. Well, my dad made my mom to give me that kid, and I had to raise my brother. Not only raise them, watching the oldest, the other ones. Now I have a kid of my own that I need to take care of myself, which one was my little brother.
Wow.
And that was really sad and bad because I don't know what to feed that kid.
Yeah.
I give him like the flour, the corn masa flour water with I put sugar on it, and I give it sweet water. And that's why my brother was raised with me. He got sick. I don't know what to do because my mom was not allowed to touch that kid. Was not allowed to be close with us because that kid. So I raised my brother by myself. After the raising the other ones because she was disappearing, there was fighting, there was something that was happening.
Yeah.
So, like, we live in the middle of nowhere. So my dad decided to, I don't know what happened in there because there was a guy coming into the house asking for my dad. And there was a big fence. And on that fence, it's like this side is us, the other side was the cows. And in the morning at 5 a.m., I need to get up at 5 a.m. and start to milk those cows. I need to make the cheese, and it's only way that my brothers can have milk or my brothers can have cheese. After that, we have cows. My brother, at that time, the little baby was like 3 years old when we get cows. He was not a baby anymore.
Yeah.
Because when they gave it to me, he was 1 month old.
Wow.
So I raised him like that's 3 years. Finally, he can start drinking milk. My dad bought cows. So I had to get the milk out of the cows. I need to milk the cows, make cheese. I need to feed my brothers. There was a big thing. And there was this guy on the other side. And that time I was 13 and a half, something like that. And she's like, that guy come and say, ask, where is your dad? And I just grabbed myself on the fence like this. So that guy from the other side fence, he grabbed my hand between the fence, and he said, I need to talk to you, not your dad. And then in that moment, my mom saw that. And she said, you blah, 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 not beautiful language at all.
Yeah.
She go inside the house, grab all the clothes, kick me out of the house with that guy in that moment.
Oh my goodness.
I don't know who he was. We don't know anything about it. I was 13 and something, almost turned 14, and they sent me with him.
Oh, wow.
I still have a fake ID that my dad made to me saying I was 18 and at that time he was 21. They forced me to marry that person. They married me with that guy that I don't know who he was.
Wow.
There was a big show with that. He was an alcoholic. He was completely like when they take me to that house, he was his family. His mom has 16 kids. 16. And the big one prize I have myself is showing up to a house that which one has a big domestic violence. We got beat up with my dad all the time. He has the whip for the horse right there hanging on the wall every time. So something the little brothers do make mistakes, they go to me. So he used to tie me and my brothers on the tree, beat us up, do whatever he wants to, and then he just leave us there. So when I show up to that family's house, there was the kids, there was the same 16 kids, the all alive still. There was no shoes, no underwears, no clothes on. The only one have a little shorts on. There was the one like 12 and 11 years old. But all of them, there was no clothes on.
Wow.
They had no food to eat. And I was thinking, at my house, at least we got all this beat up. But we have at least cheese. We got cows we can milk. We got milk. We got corn. We got flour. We got tortillas. We got beans. But in this house, they don't have nothing.
Wow.
And that guy took me to his house, and I had to leave with his mom and one more person with all the family there. I was crying like a little girl because I was a little girl.
Yeah.
I was crying, and I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
So they moved me to the house. They forced us to get married. My dad married me with that person. He wasn't. I don't know anything because I never asked anything.
Yeah.
But that guy started drinking. I don't know if he was drinking before, but he was drinking and started beating me too. And there was already 3 months with him, living with him. And say I don't get pregnant, he can find another girl. And for his lucky day or my lucky day, I got pregnant. So I have a daughter. Her name is Maria. She's 31. She's gonna be 32 next year. That's my first baby I got with him. But he always go to the river, shower, disappear, and he don't come back till next day, 2 days. And he did it all the time. Disappear, come back, got me pregnant, leave again, and disappears. Wow. And every time he come home, it's all domestic violence again. So I got beat up all the time with him. Even I wake up with a gun in my head, or he just trying to kill me with a gun. There was one day when I already have 4 kids with him. We already have 4. And I come over here to USA for the first time. He bring me here. That was in 1996 when I come here. And I only stay here for 8 months because of the abuse I get in it. Not only over there in Mexico, I get it even worse over here. He disconnect the phone because at that time there was the phone in the wall.
Yeah.
So he disconnected. He cut the cables off so I don't call anybody. So he was beating me up all the time, drinking. He was doing drugs, and I found myself, figured out.
Yeah.
So I go back to Mexico. When I go back, he took my kids away. He hid my daughters, and that time I have only 3. He hid my daughters. He don't want for me to get my kids. It's the only way he keeping me with him. Because every time he tried to beat me up and take the kids away so I don't leave. So that was the way he manipulated me. And, the people that are abusing you, they always can abuse you with taking away something that can you leave that place.
Yeah.
So he did that.
Yeah.
When I was go back and I already kind of have an idea about the women's over here in USA, we value. We're not just a piece of meat, walking and having more kicks.
Yeah.
So I realized all that. So when I go back, I already go back pregnant with my last daughter that I have with him, which she is right now, she's 26. And her name is Mary. No, she's 27. Sorry, 27. And this month, on the 6th, she's going to turn 27.
Okay.
Yeah, so I got pregnant with my daughter. So when I was already out there, and I don't have my other kids with me, so I had to stay to see what happened.
Yeah.
So that day, like he got home today from here from USA. The next day, I had my daughter. I had a C-section on my daughter because all my kids said C-section. It's one more thing besides that. I'm gonna go back a little bit. When I had 3 kids, I got pregnant for another kid. And that time, I don't want to cry. And that time, I don't know what happened exactly, but I know I having a boy. I got really sick. My about to have the baby. I cannot have it. He was over here. He cannot help me out. I was by myself in Mexico.
You were in Mexico and he was in the U.S.?
He was over here. And I was by myself. And I told him, can you come? I had the pain. I don't feel good. I sent him a letter because there wasn't that time was letters only. And he never replied to that letter. So when his mom was saying stuff that like pretty much the same story as my mom, repeating on me, saying, it's not your son, it's somebody else, stuff like that. So when I started to get my son, his feet was on the bottom and his head was up. He never turned. So they take me to the hospital, an emergency, to get a C-section because that kid is not moving, it's different direction. And over there, they want you to have the kicks by yourself with a woman right there, not go to the hospital or nothing. My first baby, Maria, she was like that. My second one, he born in the hospital. But the third one, they want me to have it again in the house.
Okay.
But I cannot have it in the house because he was different directions. So I was dying. I lost a lot of blood. I was like not moving anymore. But I remember my stuff. I remember when they grabbed me, they put me in the little bed. We running to this place. It's like 6-7 hours till you get to the hospital. They rushed me out there. I only remember they passed like this window to this window. They bent me over, broke my back, and that's it. I fall asleep. When I wake up, there was a big black room. There was nobody there. And I touch my stomach, and I have a big patch on my stomach. Because they had told me they were going to be C-section. They only put me in sleep. It's supposed to be normal kid. When I wake up, I started looking for my kid. There was a black curtain. There was not a hospital. There was some weird place. There was a black curtain and a metal, and there was another lady screaming on the other side. So I asked, where's my kid? I started asking about my kid. And that lady, she told me in a really bad language. So ask questions. She said, first you want to give your baby away, and now you're trying to scream for your kid? That's what she told me. And I asked, what are you talking about? Say, you give your son away. You right here. Wait, this is to give the kids away. This is the room for it. And I said, no, it's not. They bring me over here rushing to the hospital because I was dying and that kid is not coming out. And she said, again, in the really bad language, telling me, I need to shut up and I need to, to listen to whatever people. So I started screaming and tried to get out the bed, but my feet was asleep. I can't move. I was numb.
You were still numb.
Yeah, so I can move. I tried to get up, and when I tried to get up and screaming about my kid, a lady come to me, push me like in my chest back to the bed, because I can sit down, but I cannot move my feet. Yeah. So the lady pushed me back to the bed, grabbed my hands, and another lady come in. You see the scar right here? Another lady come in, put a needle on me, and knock me out. When I wake up, there was a month and a half later that people put me in coma. They put me in coma for a month and a half.
Wow.
I lost my kid. I don't know where he is.
Yeah.
The only people that know that where he was, there was my mom, my dad, my brother-in-law, and my father-in-law at that time. And so I do have a boy. I don't know where he is. Somebody took it from me. Somebody steal it from me.
Mm-hmm.
I wish I could find him one day.
Yeah. I'm so sorry.
But I do have, between all those, I have 4 kids with that guy. There was 5 because that baby had been missing.
Mm-hmm.
But he know. But you know what? Something is really important. When I was in that bed, I wake up from the coma. My dad was talking to me. When my dad was talking to me, I was in this beautiful place. There was a lot of flowers. There was like no problems. There was like somewhere. I was somewhere. There was beautiful. There was peace. There was flowers. There was fresh air. There was a color, like beautiful color. I was asleep in that place. What it is, I never see a place like that. So when I wake up, in that moment from the coma, I saw my dad calling me back and say, "You need to go home." And there was another hand in front of me, and it was my dad behind me saying, "Come home." So when that happens, when I saw that hand, I wake up.
When you saw the hand?
Yes, I wake up when my dad bring me home. So my dad wake me up.
Wow.
And I wake up, and there was a month and a half. My hands was swollen. My feet was swollen because I was not moving. I was in coma. I was like, somebody donate a lot of blood for me because I guess that was the last thing for me. And I'm pretty sure that now I'm being church and going. I'm sure that hand, that was the Lord.
Yeah.
But I don't know. More of that. Sometimes I'm thinking, what was it? But I still thinking to figure it out.
Yeah.
But when that happens, right now, like 6 months later after my baby died, disappeared, my brother-in-law got killed. A month later, his grandma died. 2 months later, my father-in-law got killed. A year and a half, my mom died. And so all those people that know what my kid was, all those people is dead.
Oh.
So even if I want to question it, I cannot get an answer.
Yeah.
So when I see that happens, go back, pick up my daughters, my kids, and also open my eyes when I come into USA, go back to Mexico. My ex, he show up today. Next day, I have my daughter. Over there in Mexico, I kick you out the same day you got C-section. So the same day I got C-section, I go home, got my baby with me, and I cannot, as soon as your feet wake up, you have to go. You have to get out there. So I got home. He started drinking again. He tried to beat me up again. And I just had a C-section. I'm talking like maybe 24 hours C-section. And he started forcing with me, and he had the gun in my head. So we started forcing each other because I got the C-section. I can't really move. I don't know how I did it, but I grabbed the gun and we shot it, and the gun shot at my feet. Look at my scar right there. Shot at my feet. And that night, my eyes completely, my tears dry out. There was like a set here, a set. So at nighttime, I wait for him to fall asleep with my pain in my feet, bleeding, and bleeding for the C-section. and then medication. I don't know what to do. I made that decision. So I feel everything in life is a decision. When that night he fell asleep, I grabbed my kicks. I got the little baby, bleeding myself, my birth certificate, my kicks, my paperwork, and I take off like 11, we're talking 11:30 to 12 o'clock at night, walking between the mountains so he cannot find us. We walked to this big, not state, but kind of a state in Mexico, like Michoacan area. And we got the bus and kind of no idea to get to Phoenix. So I'd go straight to the border. I stayed there. Somebody helped me pass over here, get my kicks over here safe. 6 months later, he found what I was. He showed up here. He tried to kill me and kill the kicks. He did a bunch of stuff. But in that time, I made the decision to love him and saying, I'm not going to die like my mom as domestic violence. I'm leaving this guy. I'm leaving this person. He need to figure it out. I will figure it out by my kicks. Then I'll stay with him. So, but that year, which on 1997, that I run away. I mean, here's this then. He put price on my head. So I go back to Mexico. Something gonna happen to me. So I never go back.
Yeah.
That's the then, and going to, and at least the Lord told me go back to where you come from, but I'm not planning to go back. And so I am a single mom first, raised all 6 kids. After that, I found a person here. I have a kid with him. Right now, that person is in jail. My daughter got sexually assaulted by him, which is my dad. Well, I said my son's dad. So my daughter got sexually assaulted by him. Now he's in jail for a while.
Yeah.
My son lives with me. He's 23 years old now. He's a beautiful boy. He's really tall. His name is Hayden. Really proud of him. He got hurt too, but he's been working on therapies and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I raised all my kids. One of my daughters. I'm really proud of them. Proud of myself. How I did it, I don't know. But the one that's up there, he knows. He helped me. Even I don't believe in that time. How I did it, God helped me. Even he was with me when I never see him.
Yes.
I've raised my daughters. One decided to go to college. And that time, my checks from work, there was being in Arby's for 24 years in Arby's. So when I was finding the job in Arby's at that time, I have no job. I got a job in the factory tortilla, but in that time, that tortilla factory was causing me a kidney infection because the fire, when they make the tortillas, it's coming out of the bells, and you just kind of stretch it in the little heat, like really heat pot right there. You just stretch it, starting push it to the line.
Yeah.
So I worked there for a year and a half, and so the doctor told me the kidneys is getting bad because of heat in my stomach.
Oh.
So I had to, especially because the C-sections is between that. So that was like affecting me.
Yeah.
So he said you need to leave that job as soon as you can. So I ended up leaving that job, and I started to apply everywhere. And the only job I found was Arby's.
Arby's, the fast food restaurant.
And that time Arby's had the 5 for $5 roast beef classics. We're talking 2001.
Yeah.
And at that time I applied there. I had my the job. They gave it to me, and that time they was paying $5.15 an hour. So I know how to go. That's the minimum to now.
Yes.
But I keep that job, and then I decide to run a business myself, which I'm like a landscaping business. I did that too. So I was running landscaping business and running Arby's business. The same time I was employer and a sub-employee at that time. It's only way I think I did it, raising my kids by myself. They making money here and making money over here.
Yeah.
Because landscaping business, when the rain, you cannot work in the rain. But RVs, rain and not rain, people's coming and buy food.
Yes.
So I decided to keep that job and I stay on it.
Yeah.
And so I got pregnant next again. I found about 6 years single after that happens with my daughter. And I found another guy, and I was thinking, well, gonna be fine, right? So he said he was single, he has no kids, no family, blah, blah, blah. But when I come in and told him, look, we've been dating for 3 months, it's like, I'm pregnant. He said, why you don't watch us out, blah, blah, blah. I've been single for 6 years. I never planning to date a guy. My main focus was my kids. Not like, date a guy and be hanging out with a guy. No, I just was focused and at that time was 5 kids. I need to focus on my kids and not dating anyone because it was hard for me to trust another guy after that happened.
Oh, yeah.
But I trust that person, and I guess, again, I screwed up, and he don't want the kid. He told me, you need to go get an abortion. And I said, no, I don't. So he got $500 out of his pocket. He said, here, go get an abortion. I don't want that child. So I grabbed the $500, I slapped it in the face, kick it out of my house immediately in that moment. And I never see him again because in that time when I told I was pregnant, he said, I'm married. I had kids. I cannot lose my wife. I cannot do this and this and this. When he was saying he was single.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Oh, no.
he gave me $500. And I said, no, I'm not going to do this. So I go to the church at that time, the Catholic church. And I don't know anything. I know there was a church across the street from me. And then that time we live in Peoria. So I go to a Catholic church and I ask for the priest. And I go to the confess place and I told him what happened. He pulled me out of the confess place and he told me, what do you want to do? And I said, I'm not going to divorce that kid. Because that's my responsibility. I did that. He don't want to take responsibility for, but I do. And I decided to have my son. And the priest said, okay, so that $500 he gave it to you, you can use it right now. And he said, you can go to Walmart, you can buy everything that kid can need when they're born. So I bought my son a car seat. I bought my son, because I had no baby for 6 years, starting again. So got my son a car seat, a lot of clothes. And that's what I did with that money. So at that time, I was having the landscaping business. I had to sell the business because I cannot keep running it with a big belly. And the last day I cleaned the house is that day, the last day I did the landscaping, that was the day that my son born. So I had to sell the business. And I cannot be taking care of business and the baby in the house because my daughters was in high school and regular school. And I cannot do that too. Like put it to the girls. So yeah, I have that kid, his name is Charlie. Right now he's 18. So proud of him. I'm proud of myself, how I did it. He knows.
God knows.
I know. Yes, God knows. So I was single again, not dating anyone, not hanging out with anybody, and I met my husband. He met me. Right here in Goodyear, because I was in Phoenix. I was living in Phoenix at that time. I was not here in Fresca Valley. I was in Phoenix. In 2011, I decided to go to retreat because they giving me some books. I signed in to a business. It's a business called Amway business, Amway marketing business. I signed into that business myself. Somebody showed me the plan. I signed up. And Amway have a education system that I never go to school in my life. I never had to drive a car myself. I never had to drive like a bike. So I don't know how to speak English in that time. So myself is forcing myself to be reading and like how I educate myself and stuff like that. So when I found Amway business, they have a education system that you can read every month a book and you can listen to 7 audios, like motivation audios and how you can talk to people and stuff like that. So I started forcing myself every day. And that was 4 months later. There was a big, huge, like convention business in Bakersfield, California. But in that process, I was feeling really empty because those books wake my brain up. There was a book they called the Match It, Think Big. And when I started reading that book, kind of do like a twist in my brain. There was like, yeah, that's me. They said that you don't sell yourself cheap when you go to work. You find a job, you offering your body, your time, your energy, your mostly your time, and say sell yourself cheap. And at that time, Arby's was paying me like $11 an hour, and I got 6 gigs. And I told the GM, I need you to pay more money to me, otherwise I have to find another job. And he said, why? And I said, because I need the money. My daughter wants to go to college, and she's going for engineer. I need to buy her books. The books cost $500 and something. I don't have that money for. He said, fine. So he gave me $13 an hour. And that I learned that from that book. And so I started reading more, and there was a convention. But I was looking for to fill me out that emptiness I have inside of me, because I feel empty. I have my life is being all destructions, my dad, my brother, my mom, all that stuff being like all destructions, like I don't know how you say it, like a river with a lot of trash running, So I was like, I need to find a way. What is it? And there was a guy in Sun City West, and that time I was working in one of the stores in Sun City West. And this guy told me, you go to church? And I said, no. He said, hey, you want to go to church? And I said, yeah, but which church? I don't know which one, because my dad and my mom never say, let's go to church, let's go pray, or let's do something. None of that was in our house.
Yeah.
None. It's like raised like animals. No preach, nothing. So that guy, his name was Martin, and he brought me the Catholic Bible. And he told me, here, read the Bible. And he told me what to read. And I read it, and that weekend was a convention. And when I go to that convention, that was amazing. The little chef and all that was really good. But the next day, which on a Sunday, they have like what do they call? It's like a prayer, like a church, but like service, just a service to say thank you for all the weekend and all the information we received, blah, blah, blah. So there was a nice service, and the person that invited me took me to that service, and I had the Bible with me. And they started praying. He said, this is not religion. This is just to say thank you. There is one Lord out there that we need to thank you. When he said that, my heart broke crying, because everything they say in that time, that was for me. Yeah. And that woke me up. I come home, I was looking for help. I go to Catholic Social Service because my kids was already 16, 17. They was studying really bad teenagers. My son was smoking weed. My daughter was escaping at the window at nighttime. And I don't know what to do in that moment. I saw a bottle of alcohol. I about to drink it, and I decided not to. I break the bottle and put it in the trash. I was really tempted to smoke. And I go to Circle K. I bought a box of cigarettes at that time. And my parking lot was right here, and the other side was my window. And I started to open the cigarette and tried to smoke it. When I look at the window, my kicks was right there, crying, seeing me turning on a cigarette. And as soon as I saw my kicks crying, I destroyed the cigarettes like this, completed the whole box, destroy it, which one I only have $5 on that time. I destroy it, and I jumped like in that window, I jump in and hug my kids and never taste a cigarette.
Wow.
Because my kicks was my everything.
Yeah.
And that was my motivation to continue for no matter what happened. And that time was so stressed out because I cannot pay the rent. And how I'm going to do this. But, I give up on that. For some reason, I didn't pay the rent. And that was amazing. So I go home and I started looking in the Catholic church for a retreat. I started looking for the Christian church for a retreat or somebody to talk with. And we had nobody. Like, nobody have given me an answer. And even there was a big, I don't know, you ever see a Christian church? They have like a little pantry or something like that. I think it's Bali Life or something like that. Remember?
I don't know.
Yeah, in Phoenix.
Okay.
So I walk in them, and there was everybody have like a meeting. And I asked, anybody know about retreat? And everybody said no. And pretty much just look at me like, this lady is crazy. Something's going on. Or, I don't know. They completely said no to me. And so I go home. One of my friends, they go with me to LA, or to see the convention. She says a group in this place, and they have a retreat in 2 weeks, and you want to come in. And I think that was like part of the key to me to starting healing all my past. I walk into that meeting, and that meeting was completely like my mirror, what I was sharing in that moment. That meeting, there was an AA meeting, like for alcoholics and drug addicts and all that stuff. But that group right there is not only for that; it's actually emotional support and emotional support and all domestic violence, and they do all that together.
Yeah.
I go to that retreat.
In LA.
Then over here in Phoenix.
Oh, in Phoenix, you went to it. Okay.
Yeah, when I found it here, and I go to that retreat. Girl, that retreat heal my soul, heal my past. In 3 days, I was like a happy lady that you never see in my life. Oh, wow. I was like everything. Now I understand that whatever, past with my mom and my dad, whatever problems they have, that was their problems. I did the best I can. Yeah. Right there, I understand that everybody make mistakes, and everybody can pay for their own mistakes. And that group, they opened my eyes about not beating up myself about I feel bad because my kids didn't grow up with a dad, or I feel bad because I did this. Yeah. That told me that I need to forget everybody who did wrong to me and forget myself too. Forget my kids to escaping out the window. And as soon as I take that retreat, for some reason, everything get like starting fixing it. Then my daughter started escaping out the window. My son started smoking. Wow. My house was better. Arby's giving more raise to me. Instead of paying 11 something or 13 something, they go out to $17. I don't know who was it, but something changed right there.
Yeah. And this was all because a friend invited you to this retreat.
To this retreat.
Yeah.
Yes. So my friend invited me to that retreat, and there was a big change because at that time I don't believe in the God because my dad never invited any of that. Yeah. But in that retreat, I believe there is one Lord, and He will be with us. Yes. But the big thing, and that is, one thing is we saw what we believe, but we actually falling, we're not following Him. So I was going to Catholic church after that, starting to go to church. It's only church for me, I know I can go sit down and listen to the priest and listen to church. So I was going every Sunday in Phoenix. Nice. But when we moved here to Prescott Valley, completely stopped going to church. So my son, Charlie, was playing in the park. And when he was in the park, the missionaries talked to my son in the park.
Okay. How old was he?
He was 16 at that time. Okay. No, 17 last year.
Last year, yeah.
17. So my son was in the park playing, I guess. So the missionaries started coming around to my house looking for my son. Yeah. But my son, when they see the missionaries, he run upstairs and leave me with the missionaries right there. So one day, I guess he talked to them to come in, and they're gonna meet at my house, but my son never came down.
Yeah.
So I just got home from work, and the missionaries was outside,
Uh-huh.
and I was looking for church. I was like completely looking for kind of, like I want to get close to the Lord. I feel like starting feel empty again. I starting feel like far away from Him. I starting feeling like what I'm doing wrong. I starting feel again. And
Yeah.
so when I see all that stuff that I don't like, so I tell my husband, "Can we go to church?" And he said, "It's a Catholic church here. You want to go?" We did come right here, I think, next to the church right there in Prescott Valley.
Okay.
So we did go. For some reason, something when we go to the church, something I don't like.
Mm.
I was not feeling myself.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody say hi to nobody. Everybody just walk in and walk out.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. There was something that was not right for me.
Yeah.
So, and then the missionaries already started coming, in the house. And there was this day I was starting feeling not good. My work was a big chaos. Though the sewers was completely like exploding on me.
In your house?
And then the Arby's and the,
Oh,
and the
at
store
the
and the
Arby's?
restaurant.
Oh no.
There was the sewers exploding on me. There was the frost stations broke down. There was a big thing.
Yeah.
And that day.
Oh no.
So I go home after 4:30. I got home, and there was a missionaries at the door.
Yeah.
And so I just walk in and say, hi, we just come look for Charlie. And Charlie was upstairs. But when he saw them, he ran upstairs.
Mm-hmm.
So he leave me with the missionaries right there.
Yeah.
And there was Adam Morrison and I think another kid. I don't remember who was it, but it was Adam Morrison and after that was Becker. And they decided to go to my house. And Adam Morrison asked me, "Gracie, you okay? Should we pray for you?" And that was, a big thing at my work that day. And I said, "Sure." So after we close our eyes, I close my eyes, I pray with them.
Mm-hmm.
Something made me so like calm down. I don't know what happened, but the prayer giving me a calm down. They're gonna be okay. You okay?
Yeah.
And I said, "Sure." And after that, they said, "Okay, bye. We will come back and talk to Charlie." And I said, "Okay, sounds good." And then he said, "When is good to come and see you, to talk to you?" And I told him, "Come tomorrow." That's what I did. "Come tomorrow.
Uh-huh.
I will be here." So that was on Monday and Tuesday. So I get off. I go in at 5 a.m. So I get off like at 2:30, 3 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
Sure, it's fine. We'll be there. And coming this time, I think that time was like 6 o'clock. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
they was there. At 6 o'clock, they was there, the kids. And that day, they leave me with the Book of Mormon.
Mm-hmm.
But in the same time, with all that happens, I had to have a treatment in my brain. I had to go to leave. I had to have a doctor leave for work.
Mm-hmm.
So there was 36 sections they had to do Monday to Friday in my brain. I try to kind of calm down, And so Becker come to me and say, "Here's this book. It's a Book of Mormon. You want to read it?" So when I started go to Venus, leave my husband here and go to Venus for the treatment.
For the treatment, for
because,
your brain.
Yeah, for my brain, because I had to have it radiation. And my brain, every day at 3 o'clock I had to be connecting in this machine.
Mm-hmm.
And I was there for like 30 minutes every day. And I was like exhausted.
Yeah.
I was down. I don't know what to do. My head hurts really bad. My husband is here. There was a chaos, like emotional, mentally, a big chaos.
Yeah.
So when they give you the Book of Mormon, so I had to go to Venus and ask a family out there, a friend, can I stay in your house for this treatment, Monday to Friday only. So I stayed with her. At nighttime, I started reading the Book of Mormon.
Mm.
But before that, I was already praying, saying, "Please help me, because I need help." And the missionary started talking to me, giving me some lessons and asked me some questions. Do you believe God? I say, yes, I do, because he's changed my life. He changed my life.
Mm-hmm.
I do believe in this and this. And so, okay, so can you do a favor? Can you read this? But I read one chapter. They give it to me to read. But no, I studied the Book of Mormon like a book. I studied this introduction all the way to almost finished with the book when I was done with the treatment. But the biggest thing in this Book of Mormon is I was already going the weirdest, not weird, but I think the Lord already have calling me before I even noticed. Because in St. George, Utah, it has a huge white temple.
In St. George?
Yes.
That has a big temple, yeah.
The big temple.
Yeah.
Okay, so before I know all this, 3 years before this, already stopped by because Amway had those conventions. Every year is in St. George, every year is in Reno, every year is in Baxelia, California. So they have a different place.
Oh.
And every year I go to that temple. I don't know there was a Mormon temple.
Yeah.
I just walk in and I love it. Like, there was a big thing for me going to St. George. Every time I go there, I go to the temple. So, that was so amazing. When I found out there was a Mormon church, which sometimes the perspective that we think a Mormon church is, it's a Mormon church, but it's not. It's more deeper, we think. Because when they give you the Book of Mormon, my life was like Nephi running, protecting his family. That was my life, running away from my ex-husband to protect my life and my kids.
Yeah.
And when I was on the second Nephi, starting reading and finished reading it, I was starting crying at night time because it was my story reflecting with his story. And I started crying, and I prayed, and I said, please, Lord, see, this is real for me, and this is what you want me to do. Please, tell me. Yeah. Just give me a sign, give me something. Well, and that dream, that night that I prayed, and I asked for his help, he told me, this Book of Mormon is real, and this is real. And that was the Lord in my dream told me the Book of Mormon was real. So, then I go home. That was Thursday night. So on Friday, I had my treatment at 9 a.m. in the morning. I come home, and Becker and other Morrison, they have a dinner with me on Friday. So I say, guys, and that time was only Becker. Said, Becker, I'm getting baptized. And he said, what? And he was like grabbing himself back up, like sit on the chair. No, can you repeat that? Because I said, I'm getting baptized. And he said, Gracie, you sure? I said, yes. And he was so excited. And he said, why? Why you decide getting baptized? Because, already giving me kind of a lot of lessons about it.
Yeah.
And I said, because last night the Lord told me that what I'm reading is real. And I'm getting baptized. And he said, okay, what day? And I put it, February 24. I got baptized. I've already visited 3 temples. Let me see. My first one was Snowflake. I visited that temple at my birthday, which one there was a big deal for me because I tried to get somebody to go with me. My husband cannot go because on that time he still was smoking. He still was doing his things. So he cannot go with me. And I don't want to go by myself inside in the temple because I don't know anything about, the temple. I want somebody that know the temple.
Yeah.
Well, I walked into the temple and there was a big change for me because I was inside and I said, please, this be with me here. Help me because I don't know anything here.
So you were by yourself?
Yes,
okay.
by myself.
Okay.
So I was by myself, and this side there was a big picture that he's baptizing, and this side is like a big, beautiful picture with like trees and, people and like the Lord is in there. And that looks amazing. And for some reason, I feel like he was there with me. And I was not feeling lonely. And then I walked in inside, and there was a beautiful lady that she helped me out. Really nice lady, and she helped me find my clothes and get myself dressed up to get baptized. And at that time, I baptized 4 names for one of the members from the church. And there was a beautiful story in that. And the what I call when
Like a chapel?
the confirmation.
Oh, the confirmation.
When he did the confirmation, I was like, see a lot of nice things with my eyes closed, and then I see a light with my eyes closed, and I was like, I opened my eyes and there was no light in front of me. And then after that, I feel like something so happy inside of me and joy in there. I was like, he was with me. He is here with me. So I go outside, and my husband was waiting for me outside, and he said, how was it? And I was like, I don't know what to tell them, because there was amazing experience for me inside. And then I go to Phoenix Temple, and there was another one, and I said, this is something that I need to know. Do I need to ask them, or what is this? But it's a big blessing. It's a big blessing. Made me think that go baptize somebody else, that maybe there wasn't a shadow, that's why I see it. And you, when you baptize this person, you pull it out to the light. You give it out, you give it light to them, you give it life.
Yeah, because you're baptizing as proxy for someone
Yes.
else who's already gone, and so now you're bringing them to the light.
Yeah,
That's
and I
beautiful.
was like, I'm bringing this person to the light, you know?
Yeah.
And my husband took me to, we go to the convention again from business in St. George this July. And we go to the temple, but this time my husband go with me to the temple, because he's done quick with the stuff. He has a temple recommended.
Oh, so now he's baptized too, and he's going with you. Oh.
No, he was a member of the church when he was young, but he wasn't active.
Yeah, he wasn't going.
Yeah, he wasn't
I
going for 17 years. He never go to church. But when he met me, and not when I decide to be talking to the missionaries, when I decide that I need to do changes in my life, he said, I am a member church, right? I used to be a Mormon person. And I said, why you don't tell me all these things? He said, because you Catholic, I don't want to tell you what's going on. I said, maybe you're going to reject me or something. I said, no, now I understand, but before maybe I will say something, but now it's it's this amazing gift I ever have, because now my husband is active again.
Yeah.
He's not smoking. He's not doing any crazy things at all. He's back at church.
Yeah.
He is with me every Sunday. And we go to the St. George Temple. And I work all morning. And we left like at 10 at night. And we got there like at 3 a.m. in the morning and St. George. And there was exactly 5 a.m. in the morning. There was this lady said, what are you guys doing here? And my husband said, we're waiting for the temple at 7 o'clock. And she said, well, I hope so. And she got really bad attitude. She kind of judged us right there in the parking lot. And then a few minutes later, another one. He said, what are you guys doing here? And my husband, we have an appointment at 7. And she said, okay. And one more. And later on, the security guard come in. And he said, what are you guys doing? And he said, we waiting for a 7 o'clock appointment. And he said, you guys can come in early, so you guys need to use the bathroom. And the security guard was really nice. He told us we can go early, but we wait till 7. We change and then we go in. But my husband was starting getting discouraged. He said, they're treating us like a homeless over here, because I was sleeping on the back, on the cab of the truck. He was standing up, waiting, watching me.
Yeah.
Because I was super tired, like not wake up at work all day and then drive, and then and
all night.
So we got there, and my husband started to get discouraged, and I said, "Look, we set up an appointment with the Lord. To me, go to the temple is setting up the appointment with the Lord, not with the people in the temple. It's you and the Lord only."
Yeah.
This is one thing I share in the state center and the state conference is the appointment in the temple is you and the Lord.
Yes.
Because you're preparing yourself to go and do the service that you want to do.
Mm-hmm.
And you know you're doing with all your love and all your heart. He will bless us to what we do.
Mm-hmm.
And we did, me and my husband, walk into the temple. We did baptisms. It was amazing.
Mm.
Gifts, receiving, seeing my husband together again. And he actually walked in and baptized somebody else too.
Mm.
That was an amazing gift.
Mm-hmm.
So I cannot say I'm not being blessed. Yes, I do. I'm blessing a lot with an amazing husband, with receiving so many gifts from the Lord.
Mm-hmm.
That I am still here alive.
Yeah.
That I don't get killed at that time.
Mm-hmm.
That I promise you, say I am over there. I will be not here talking with you.
Yeah.
Yeah. My kids, they're amazing. They're different, have different life. Not the same I did.
Yeah.
Not being abused or anything.
Mm-hmm.
The Lord has been with me all this time. We just need to look for Him. Not only waiting for Him to come and give us an answer, we need to put our work too. Because this is what I notice. I put my work too. I read the Book of Mormon. I love the story of the Book of Mormon. I will continue doing it, and I continue to go to temples. I'm trying to get them up and put other temples I'm going to visit.
Mm-hmm.
And I have a lot of beautiful, like, how I say, plans that I want to go to temple. I want to do baptisms. I want to go with my husband.
Yeah.
My kids wish and pray that one day my kids come to church too.
Mm-hmm.
They one day be with me together, and
Yeah.
so
They can learn what you've learned
Yes.
and understand all these new things that you've learned. And I already love what you've shared about how almost like you've been saying this light has come into your life, more understanding of who you are, more of a kinship with God, like He knows me, He's with me, He has been with me.
Yes.
All along. Now you can look back and see it, and now you can feel it like on a daily basis.
Yes.
Which is so wonderful and so beautiful.
Yeah, pretty much when you have a struggles like this, pretty much like right now that I know the Lord and I know more about Him and I know more of that. Even at work, I am a struggle sometimes. I just go over there on the other way in the back, but I saw the machines is and like all the cases is all, then put my hands right there and pray for a little bit and made me calm down or please help me because I need your directions.
You pray at work, it's great.
Yes.
Like some people don't think about it.
I need to.
Exactly.
Because especially like my skin color. A lot of them, they don't like that. Because I am Mexican for them.
Mm-hmm.
Well, my dad is Indian. My mom was a Spanish lady. So, and I born in Mexico. But my parents, one is Indian, Idaho Indian. The other one is, a Spain lady. So, I'm not 100% Mexican, but I am 100% Spain and Indian. 50-50.
Yeah.
So, I get a lot of discrimination in the store. Sometimes people, they're really dirty. And
that's too bad.
Yeah, I got a lot of discrimination because of my skin color, because my language, the way I speak, and even they would call me Asian lady or Japanese lady. But you know what? I'm happy what I am right now. I'm happy who I am. And also I'm happy that I am the oldest 7 boys. And they can see me as simple as not being somebody drinking and doing bad things, and somebody healthy. And I am still here believing the Lord, and I know He's with me. And I continue praying and grow with Him. I'm pretty sure that we'll be with Him.
Yeah,
that's my whole.
And it's a perfectly beautiful hope. It's
yes,
and you can hold on to that and who you are. Like I think that nobody can understand us better than the Lord, obviously.
Yes.
Like he knows your value. He knows how precious you are. And He's been, as you said, just with you and trying to just guide your steps. And I love how you say, I don't know how it happened. I don't know how it worked out. which is it's just a good way to put it. Like sometimes it doesn't make sense almost, or it doesn't add up, because that's how the Lord is, and He's able to kind of put those pieces together that we can't do ourselves, and help us feel whole in a way that no one else can, and peace and calm. Like I love the way you describe those feelings of just calm.
Like you pretty much just close your eyes and pray. It's sad. Because in that moment you will feel, like breathe deep and pray, and they will. We're not saying everything can fix one day or another, but they will be fixed. Especially see as a single mom having 6 kids by yourself, and you don't know how to figure it out. What just keep walking because He will be with us. That's it.
Yeah.
Because that's what I did.
And like you said, what an example you are of that to everyone in your life. And I mean, even to your husband, right? Like just to everybody to show them what's possible.
Yeah.
And it's awesome. Like what a great story that you have of completely shifting the dynamic of what your past was, like completely different from what it was.
Yeah, and right now what you said,
making a change.
Making that change.
Yeah.
I think He have a purpose for me, and I'm trying to discover it.
Yeah.
Because be alive for a domestic violence from my dad. Be alive for my ex-husband tried to kill me. And be alive after I raised all those kids by myself, and I'm still here kicking,
Yeah.
I think He has a purpose for me, and I'm trying to figure out which one is my purpose, because I love to help people. I love to help ladies. I see ladies struggle with the gigs, and that reflect my mirror when I was me struggling with the gigs. Because it's really bad when you really need help, nobody is there for you.
Yeah.
And sometimes when I see ladies, like single ladies like that and with the gigs, I want to be there for them, because you need it. Because when I was single and with my kids, I need help, and there's nobody there. And when I see a lady struggle, I want to be there for that person, because I know how that feels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's reminds me of just the power of I guess, how do you say it, pain in our lives, of that Christ, this is the miracle of Christ, is He can take pain and turn it to something good.
Yes.
He can take something that is a struggle and a challenge and completely turn it around and make it something that's going to be beautiful and whole and I mean, it's what His atonement was.
Yeah.
He took upon Himself the sins of the world, and with all that pain, and out of that came something so beautiful that we can't even comprehend. We don't even understand fully, that now we all can be healed because of that. And we, not only that, He can relate to us in a way that no one else can, and on and on and on. I mean, the atonement's just multifaceted and infinite, and in scope and magnitude, and hard for us to grasp. But I love that. I love how you've seen that can be accomplished in your own life and in what you've done.
So it's really how I said, like, when you have it's hard to get accomplished yourself, because you struggle with, right? But also how you said, we need to see Him, like, because I don't know, so you see that movie they call, I think, The Cross, and somebody come up with a movie, but the Jesus Christ crucified on the cross or something like that.
Okay.
I don't know if you remember.
I don't remember
There was a movie that somebody pulled up like in 6, 7, 8 years ago. I don't know. That's been a while.
Okay. Yeah.
I remember when somebody was promoting that movie. Somebody gave it to me in the DVD. And I remember playing that movie before any of the retreats and any of that stuff. And when I saw him there beating up, I was thinking in that moment, my dad beat us up. But when I see, like, when he was crying, and not crying, but he was hurting and bleeding, and then when they put that crown, I was like, that's the pain that He suffered for us. What are we doing? What are What is my purpose? Because he suffered from pain, and I'm here complaining because he come and destroyed my apartment, and he come and tried to kill me, and he here to complain, and I am still alive. And that time, that movie helped me a little bit, and that saying, why am here complaining? You know, it's funny that somebody left his photo. You know, I think there was a missionaries, in my door, and the next day I found his photo with and the door said, give us a call. We just stopped by to say hello. As Esther had that photo, saving in my Bible, because when I watched the movie, there was a message on the door. So pretty much he's been looking for me, and I am the one was rejecting it because I was more focused on what happened to me, what they did to me, blah, blah, blah. So sometimes we focus more on what they do to us and not what are we going to do next.
Oh, I love that. Yeah.
What are we doing next?
What now?
Well, yeah.
What can I do? And it's so true. And it's so easy to get caught in that. So we all do it. You know, we all play, I like to say we play the victim.
Yes.
And we just get caught up in woe was me, self-pity, right? A lot of that.
Yeah.
And, you know, I think that there's a small place for that, and yet if we can shift our focus, like you said, and just realize, wow, okay, but I'm still here, and what can I do now? I have pain in my past. Now what?
Yeah.
What can I do with that pain? How can I shift that for something good? And that's what you want to do. And I can see, like, you're like, I have a purpose. I have so much to give because of what I've been through.
Yes.
And because of what Christ has been through, you have so much to offer and so much you're willing to share, because look at what he did for us, what he went through. And you want to focus on that. And now where can I go from there? Which is fantastic.
It was amazing. Yeah, it's like a brain twist, you know. It's what we lose, where we focus at.
What we focus on.
Yeah, because on that time when I watched that movie, I was starting crying, and I get off the couch and I say, no more. Like, I give up, you know. He's crying, he's suffering for this, for us, and look at what happened. And I was like, I completely, like a CD, I don't know, I played the CD on the other side, because I was like, this is not going to happen to me. And at that time, I still not driving. So I decided to drive. I decided to drive a car, drive a bike. I fell 4 or 5 times on the bike, but I started driving a bike. I almost hit my car on the end of the bridge, but guess what? I got it. And I started like working on my paperwork and all that stuff, and I got it, and I got my driver's license. I said, this is all about the Lord. It's about what we focus on. Focus on the positive and the negative. What do you want better, you know?
Yeah.
So I was like, no, that's a brain switch. And I started reading those books, started reading, listen to audios, reading seminars, all that stuff. All the seminars about business, but they talk about the Lord too.
Yeah.
Every time they said, we need to say thank you, or even the books they give it to me, they say in the book, you know, Messiah this, or it's chapters from the Bible on the books I'm reading too. Yeah. Because the Amway business, it's like there was a Christian person and the owner of that business. So every book has something about the Lord. Yeah. So I was like, cool. I need to keep going. So my husband, he's like, can you tell me what's going on? Because I feel something is changing. Something is, I'm so proud of my husband, though.
Oh,
He's an amazing man. He's that guy that I wish I had a long time ago.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah,
and you deserve it. That's so good. and him too. Like, what a beautiful union you guys are. And as you were talking, it reminded me of the scripture that we are to act and not be acted upon, you know. So we have the choice to choose to do something. Like, I love it. You're like, I was going to go drive, and I'm going to go ride my bike. I'm going to learn how to do all these. Like, I can do something.
Yes.
And we can. And there's so much that the Lord has in store for us if we just act and we start taking steps forward.
Put action. And not starting complaining. No complaining, just for actions.
That's so good.
It's what I think it is the best.
Yes. Oh, well, thank you so much. Thank you so much for sharing all that you have. And, I mean, it was so raw. And and just real, like it's painful. I mean, I could tell like how much you were feeling those memories and so hard, but you have become someone such a force for good. And so thank you for who you are and for the good you are portraying out into the world, and now blessing, who knows how many lives you will, including your own family as a result. So
that's the best thing. Thank you for inviting me and having me, and I'm so grateful to the Lord that let me those guys knock my door.
Yes.
And say yes to the Book of Mormon, say yes to read and follow in the instructions and keep reading and keep discovering more stuff, because there's a lot of things to find, and that's not fun, and nothing's gonna be bad. Everything is gonna be great because it's helping my life. So if they help my life, they can help a lot of others.
100%, and that is why missionaries are out there. Like it's to find people who like you who are just waiting and searching for something for God, for Christ.
Yeah,
we need Him, and when we bring Him into our lives, it changes our lives. So
especially if we put our offering out there.
Definitely, yeah. Our effort matters too. Yes.
And let's continue doing those, like build those covenants, and keep growing with my husband. And mostly it's me every night, reading and following the Book of Mormon, or following on the church app and all that. Yep. And he's like, "What are you doing? It's time to go to bed." No, let me read this a little bit.
Oh, that's great.
I like it. It's because it's, I don't know how I express it. It's not a way to express it. It's happiness when you start in reading. And I said, I'm going to read a little bit, maybe just one chapter. But I finished that and I continue the other one and the other one. I want more.
Want to keep going. Yes. Yeah. There's so much to learn, so much to know. Well, thank you again.
Yeah.
Thank you for your time, and we'll see you around, I'm sure.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you.
Gracie wanted to make sure that it's clear when she came to the U.S. for the final time, she was able to do so legally and obtain her citizenship. I want to thank our guest again for being here today. I pray that as you listened, the Spirit whispered to you the specific actions you can take as you move forward in your daily life. I know Christ is there, and that following those promptings will bring you closer to Him and to lasting and elevated change. May God be with you in your journey. To find out more, visit us at lsistudios.com, and to learn more about the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, visit comeuntochrist.org or reach out to us.